Good morning and welcome back to Mornings on Fox 11. On Ask a Weatherman today, PJ asks, what is a rain shadow? Well, good question there. A rain shadow occurs downwind of a mountain range, and it's often why the Truckee Meadows will stay dry during a big storm while snow or rain falls up in the Sierra. To understand a rain shadow, we first have to understand temperature and dew point and how they relate to each other. The air around us contains water in the form of a gas called water vapor. The amount of water vapor a parcel of air can hold depends on the temperature of the water. Now, higher dew points indicate more moisture or more water vapor in the air, and lower dew points indicate less water vapor. When the temperature and the dew point are close to each other, the air is holding just about as much water vapor as it can hold. If you start off with warm air and then cool it down, eventually that air is no longer going to be able to hold the water vapor it contains, and the water will begin to condense into liquid. The temperature at which this happens, that's called the dew point. So let's start off with air at 70 degrees and a dew point of 40 degrees, and we'll cool that air down to 40 degrees. You've now reached the dew point, and any further cooling will result in the condensation of water vapor into liquid, which then lowers the dew point further. So let's take a look at how this applies to the question at hand. As air rides up and over a mountain range such as the Sierra, it expands as the pressure decreases, and that causes it to cool down. In the case of a storm where the air is already holding a lot of moisture, it reaches the dew point early in its journey, which forms clouds, and then it continues to rise and cool. More water condenses, and that falls to the ground as precipitation. When the air reaches the top of the mountain range, it begins to descend and warm, but the dew point stays the same because we're not adding any moisture back to that air. The result is stable, warm, and dry air downwind of the mountain range, effectively shutting off the precipitation. And that right there is the rain shadow effect. So thank you to PJ for that question. And if you have a question you want to ask the weatherman, submit your question to me, and I'll do the best that I can to answer it. Tune into Mornings on Fox 11 every Monday for the next viewer question and answer. Back over to you, Sam.